be crying about it. I was like, I had it coming, regardless of whether it was right or wrong or whatever. I knew I had it coming. So ain't no need to cry about it. It is what it is. You know, if you're gonna be a criminal, just be willing to accept the consequences.
Okay, can I have Barry to the podium?
All right, Barry, we got Barry making a fuss, not going. That's right. Let's see what Barry did.
Good evening, sir. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Barry Morphew, 10/17/67.
Thank you, sir. And it does look like you are here today on a warrant from the state of Colorado. And they have indicated that they want to extradite you back to the state of Colorado. Did you get an opportunity to review that laminated card that was given to you today?
Yes.
Okay. So you have a choice to make here today. You have two options, and we're going to go over what your options are. So first, let's discuss what you're here for. There is, again, a warrant from the state of Colorado. They've indicated they do want to extradite you back to the state of Colorado related to an offense charge of homicide. In this case, you have the option of stating, I am ready to be returned to the state of Colorado. If you were to choose to do that, you would be waiving your rights to any hearings here in Maricopa County. You say, I'm ready for Colorado to come pick me up. If you choose to do that, you would be held here in the Maricopa County jail, non-bondable, for up to 30 days, giving Colorado 30 days to come pick you up.
What was his
30
name?
days would start tomorrow, so long as you do not have any local pending charges here in the state of Arizona. He was on the news? In the alternative, I could set a hearing here in Maricopa County on June 30th, 2025 at 1:30 in the afternoon. In this case,
what up, Johnny?
You would
Damn,
be
Barry's with the business.
You want to have an extradition hearing, and before you're extradited back to Colorado, you're demanding that both governors, the governor of Arizona and the governor of Colorado, sign a
Did anybody
warrant
catch his last name?
requiring you to be extradited back to Colorado before you do that. That process takes about 60 to 90 days. That hearing that I would set here in Arizona is civil in nature, meaning you would not be entitled to court-appointed counsel, but you could hire an attorney at your own expense if you would like to for that hearing. If you were to choose that option, you are eligible for bond. In this case, you have a cash-only bond of $3 million. If you posted that bond, you'd have written conditions of release you'd need to comply with. You would also need to ensure you attended that hearing on June 30th. If you failed to appear at that hearing, you would now have a warrant out of Maricopa County.
Somebody was asking about it.
The Colorado warrant would still be valid, and you would forfeit the bond
Morphew.
that you posted. Based on that information, do you know what option you would like to do here today, sir?
Susan.
You'd like to waive your rights here today and go ahead and say you're ready for Colorado to pick you up? Okay. Since we are waiving some important rights, I'm just going to go ahead and ask you some important questions before we do that, and then we will get some of your signatures, okay? So, again, I just want to confirm you did read the waiver of extradition paperwork, which was that laminated card?
Yeah.
Okay. And you do understand that you do not have to sign this paperwork?
Yes.
And you do understand that you have the right to an extradition hearing. That would be that hearing on June 30th?
Yes.
And do you understand that you have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense?
Yes.
And do you understand you have the right to demand that a governor's warrant be signed by both governors of each state before you're returned?
Yes.
And do you understand that you would have a right to bail, in this case, a cash bond of $3 million?
Yes.
And do you want to give up those rights and sign this paperwork?
Yes.
And have anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to sign this paperwork?
No.
And have you had any drugs, alcohol, or medication within the last 24 hours?
No.
I find that you are knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily signing this waiver, and I am also going to sign it. I am directing the sheriff's office to notify the requesting state that you are ready to return. The requesting state will have 30 days from tomorrow to pick you up unless you have local charges pending. If you have local charges pending, then the 30 days will not start until the conclusion of that case. Did you have any questions there?
No.
Okay. In just one moment, we are going to ask you to step up here. We're going to need a couple of signatures from you to indicate you are waiving those rights.
Melissa.
Okay, are you ready for him? Okay, if you'll just come right over here, she'll tell you when to sign. You are going to have to sign at least twice.
Barry is going to get picked up. Hell yeah, you better believe Colorado is going to be picking him up. $3 million bond is crazy. Yeah, so I wrote, yes, an individual named Barry, specifically Barry, last name is spelled Morphew. Is that Morphew? Was arrested in Maricopa County, Arizona. He is facing charges related to the unaliving of his wife, Susan Morphew, in Colorado. Barry was arrested by Arizona DPS and expected to go through an extradition hearing, according to a YouTube video. The arrest occurred after a grand jury indicted him in Colorado. Jeez, is this live? I don't know. Is it? No sé. I
Sure,
don't
so if
know.
you'll just take a seat out there, we will get that paperwork printed and brought out to you, okay? Thank you.
Arizona, Maricopa, if you will. There it is, Barry. You got Barry right there. Well, you are, but the video, yeah, it's live. It's live and direct. This is night court here. They have court all day, every day in Arizona. He's done. His wife, she's been missing for years, and they finally found her remains. What? So he fled. Yeah, he took off from Colorado. Yep.
On the house call.
He drugged her and
Case number 24 and 26, Jonathan Stanley, date of birth April 24th, 1981. I completed this case as a house call prior to the 11 p.m. calendar due to Mr. Stanley being in the hospital.
Did she say 11 p.m.?
He is here on 2 out-of-county warrants from Coconino County Superior Court for a probation violation. I appointed counsel and set a arraignment hearing in the Coconino County Superior Court on June 25th at 8:30 and set a cash bond of $5,000 on each case for a total of $10,000.
Flush for Barry.
If he does post bond, he has written conditions of release to include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting his probation officer within 72 hours. Case number 23 and 36, Thomas Williams, it's William Thomas, date of birth July 12th, 1988, will proceed as a house call due to Mr. Thomas being combative.
An Arizona man
has been... The first case is a new Superior Court case. It does include 1 count of robbery, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of burglary in the 3rd degree, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of dangerous drug possession, a Class 4 felony, 1 count of drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of resisting arrest and risking physical injury, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of resisting arrest, a passive resistance, a Class 1 misdemeanor. For purposes of this hearing only, I am not finding probable cause as it relates to the burglary charge or the resisting arrest with physical injury. I am finding probable cause to the other counts. I am appointing an attorney and setting a status conference June 26th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 30th at 8:30. I'm setting a secured appearance bond of $7,500 in this case. He has a second case on the calendar, and that is due to him being on probation. It is a Term 1 violation when he was picked up for this new offense. I'm appointing counsel and setting a probation revocation hearing June 27th at 8:30 and a secured appearance bond of $500. That is a total bond of $8,000. If that bond is posted, he has written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and contacting his probation officer within 72 hours.
Jeez.
If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. Case number 17 and 18, Nellie Mutiba, date of birth December 2nd, 1986, will proceed as a house call due to her being a danger to others. The first case is a new Superior Court case. It is for 1 count of aggravated assault, a Class 4 felony, and 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor.
Thank you, Naomi.
Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent her. She will have a status conference June 26th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 30th at 8:30. I'm setting a secured appearance bond of $25,000. She also has a warrant from the El Centro Justice Court for an offense dated September 27th, 2024 for 1 count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. I am appointing counsel and setting an arraignment hearing in the El Centro Justice Court on June 25th at 8:30. She has a secured appearance bond of $50 in this case. If bond is posted, she'll have written conditions of release to include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. If anything changes after I meet with her, I will update the written record. Case number 11, Brandon Sutter, date of birth July 20th, 1985, will proceed as a house call due to being a danger to self. He is here on a failure to appear bench warrant that was issued for him related to a pending drug charge. I will affirm the attorney previously appointed and set a status conference June 26th at 8:30 and affirm the secured appearance bond of $250. If bond is posted, he has written conditions of release to include not possessing any weapons or alcohol. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. Case number 21, Henry Diaz, date of birth September 17th, 1980, will proceed as a house call due to being a danger to self. We are here on a new Superior Court case. It does include one count of narcotic drug possession for
I'm
sale,
on
a
camera.
Class 2 felony, two counts of narcotic drug possession for use, Class 3 felony, one count of using electronic communications during a drug transaction, a Class 4 felony, one count of misconduct involving weapons, a Class 4 felony, and one count of drug paraphernalia violation, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent him. He will have a status conference June 26th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing June 30th at 8:30. He has a cash bond of $50,000. Bond is posted. He has written conditions of release to include not possessing any drugs without a valid prescription and not driving a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. Case number 9, Jason Kendra, date of birth April 12, 1991, will proceed as a house call due to being disruptive. He is here on a probation violation warrant with allegations he violated terms 3, 5, and 15. I will appoint counsel and set a probation revocation hearing on June 27th at 8:30. He has a secured appearance bond of $250. If bond is posted, he has written conditions of release. It does include not possessing any weapons or alcohol and contacting his probation officer within 72 hours. If anything changes after I meet with him, I will update the written record. That does conclude the 11 p.m. calendar, and we will now stand in recess until 5 a.m.
All right, hey, don't leave, guys. I want to show you a news article that I found right now. I'm gonna put it up for you guys right now. Give me uno momento right here, so I get it up on the screen here. No, mama. Te van a mirar. Here, give me a minute. I'll get it up here on the screen. Let's see here.
An Arizona man has been indicted by a grand jury in southern Colorado for killing his wife.
12 News was the only TV station in the valley that captured Barry Morphew arriving at Maricopa County Jail this afternoon. He's awaiting an extradition hearing in front of a judge who will decide if he can go back to Colorado to face a murder charge there.
12 News journalist Sean Rice is joining us now to explain more on the case that has garnered national attention. Sean?
Yeah, Mark and Kribe, Arizona DPS tells me they arrested Barry Morphew today in Gilbert. This was all at the request of prosecutors in Alamosa County, Colorado. That's about 2 hours south of Colorado Springs. That's where Morphew has been indicted by a grand jury for murdering his wife, Suzanne. And property records indicate Morphew has been living in the Cave Creek area ever since 2022. That's when an attempt to prosecute him for the first time was dismissed. Now, Morphew has been at the center of multiple Dateline episodes right here on NBC. His wife, Suzanne, went missing in Salida, Colorado. This was all back on Mother's Day in 2020. Her husband, Barry, was previously charged with first-degree murder, accused of killing Suzanne, but at the time, her body had never been found. The case against Barry was rife with prosecutorial errors, to the point that a judge previously dismissed the case. Then in September 2023, Suzanne Morphew's body was found in a rural part of southern Colorado, and the results of a toxicology report pointed back at Barry being the person responsible for killing his wife. Today, District Attorney Ann Kelly, she's the person who's going to be prosecuting this case in Colorado. She was asked why Morphew was here in Arizona. This is what she had to say.
That information was still being gathered. We have been working very, very hard to make sure that we run down anything we can with respect to this investigation, and our law enforcement officers will certainly be following that.
And Arizona DPS tells us Morphew did not resist at the time of his arrest today in Gilbert. It's unclear why exactly he was in Gilbert today. He is expected to go through that extradition hearing at some point this weekend. He could challenge being transported to Colorado to face that murder charge. Court records show Morphew has never faced a single criminal charge out in the valley since he moved here, again, right around back in 2022. Attempts to reach his daughters, who have been supportive of Barry throughout this entire 5-year ordeal. Those attempts to reach them have been unsuccessful today. Back to you guys.
All right, Sean Rice reporting. Thanks, Sean.
All right, guys, there it is there. Let me stop this because I don't know what the hell this is. But yeah, I know you guys, I was interested, so that's why I looked up the video. Hopefully that cleared up any questions you guys had right there. So they got him. He's done. Man, that's crazy. Tranquilizing your wife? Shh. It's not that serious. Just get divorced and move on, you know? It ain't
You done yelling?
let me see. Anyhow, hey, this is the last quarter of the night. If you haven't done so, please do so. Hit that follow button. It's free 99. Doesn't cost you a thing. Hey, thank you everybody. Hey, what's up, Barbie? Hey, David, you're welcome, man. Man. Anyhow, hey, I will be back tomorrow. I have a little bit more time for my hands tomorrow, so I'll be on in the morning. Hey, I am Collect Call James. You are watching. You have a collect call from, and like I said around here, hey, life's like a candle. Once you blow it out, it's lights out. And with that, we are out. A rato. Johnny, you're welcome.